Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day. Um, I really just wanted to jump on and share a little story, something that happened today, and just encourage you and let you know that, man, if you trust God with every situation in your life, He will fight on your behalf. The Bible says when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will raise up a standard against him. All throughout the Gospels, in Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, um, when the Pharisees would try to entangle Jesus, try to entangle the disciples never spoke. They never spoke against whatever the Pharisees were saying. I recall, I believe it's in Matthew, where uh, the disciples are picking corn on the Sabbath, and uh, the law was you don't pick corn on the Sabbath, you don't heal on the Sabbath, you don't do those things on the Sabbath. It was unlawful and sin. So when the disciples were picking the corn on the Sabbath, the Pharisees saw it and they went to Jesus and said, "Your disciples are picking corn on the Sabbath." And instead of the disciples speaking and going defending themselves to the Pharisees, Jesus did. In every situation where the Pharisees was attacking and trying to entangle the disciples did not speak, but Jesus spoke on their behalf. I'm telling you, if you trust God, His position in our lives is to defend us, is to speak on our behalf, is to be there for us in every situation, not to allow anything to come against us, and to try to overcome us and overtake us. We don't have to defend ourselves against people, against lies, against things that people try to do. And it's not people, it's the enemy influencing people to try to destroy you, to try to take you out. So a few months ago at work, I was having a tough time, unbeknown to me, and my boss wanted to put me on a final written write-up, and she did, and it was like a slap in the face to me because I was not aware that this was happening, and man, I was so thrown off by it. My initial reaction after it happened was to be angry. I wanted to cry. I was so upset, and I just began to pray, and just thank God and worship Him. And I said, Lord, Your will be done. My will is to be upset, to be, how could You do this? Woe is me. But I took the position of, I'm going to allow You to lead and guide me and fight for me and defend me and fight on my behalf, because I know I did nothing wrong. I know I did nothing to deserve this. I know that I didn't miss it. So I just began to pray. I began to seek God. I began to seek direction. I began to, reach out to my friends to pray with me, to pray for me. And I was still. I didn't say anything. All I did was dispute the accusation that was against me. I didn't stand up against. I just wrote a letter and I left it in God's hand. And I remember initially, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is warranted. I won't try to fight for it. I won't try to defend it. And I remember my old boss, he kept messaging me about it. He kept reaching out to me. Hey, have you submitted your dispute? He was on top of it. He is a man of God, and he kept asking me about it. He's like, let me know when you completed it so I can let my mom and my aunt know so that they'll be praying for you as well. So I thank God for him making sure he stayed on top of me, because I was growing weary. I just felt like I'll just let it happen. And really, his words helped me to proceed, to finish writing it out. Wrote it out, turned it in, didn't know how it was going to turn out. And I had a meeting today, and my boss's boss said to me, you're doing good. I'm going to overturn this situation. And getting a little emotional, because when you feel like you're at your lowest point and you don't know how things are going to turn out, when people are coming against you for no reason, nothing you did, and it's not them, it's the enemy. When you are serving God and seeking Him, people will try to accuse you of things that you didn't do, and the enemy will try to take you out, but God will raise up a standard. I did not defend myself. I didn't, stand up and go back and forth. I didn't get mad. I didn't treat anybody any different than I normally. I walked in love. I respected everyone. And God defended me. And when she said I overturned the situation, man, I was so speechless, but so grateful, because God defended me. It wasn't anything I did. It wasn't anything I deserved. It was His goodness and His mercy. When there's a need, He will step in on your behalf. All you have to do is trust Him, pray to Him, seek Him. Every emotion I was feeling, I told Him about. How angry I was, how upset I was, how I couldn't believe this. And He gave me His peace, His joy, to continue to proceed, to smile, to spread love, to keep going, even though it seemed bad. Even though I didn't know what was going to happen, if I lost my job, or if I just had to trust Him. So I just wanted to come on and let you guys know that you do not have to defend yourself in any situation, in any circumstance. God will speak on your behalf. He will defend you. He is a defender. He is your defense. He is your protection. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will raise up a standard against him. You just have to trust God. You just have to be patient. You just have to hold on. Do not give up, but trust that God is defending you and working all things together for your good. Be blessed, people. I love you. Have a great day.